Yes. Greetings in the name of His and Her Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie the First, Empress Rosera Menin. Yes, family. One perfect balance. Welcome to another special episode of Politically Incorrect, where we get it correct. I yeah, yeah, that's what's up. We're here to make it happen. Another night, of course, where we bring you the incorrect information. You get it? The incorrect information, being politically about it. And the reason why I say incorrect information, because we put the dash in the middle because we are incorrect. Got it? Yeah. Well, guess what? I getting more warnings. YouTube, Facebook. You got this thing where they call a strike. They put a strike against you for doing certain things. So I have videos that I would have put out months ago that people perhaps are now reviewing and now reporting. And so they give you these strikes. And it's like, I go on YouTube, I see videos of people being assaulted. I see, all kind of stuff, perverse stuff, you know, assault on women, on children, fights, all kind of stuff, and they got millions of views in some cases. And you start, put out information, just information. No one posts and refutes what you're saying. No one tells you anything, but they go and they use their account with their email address and they go report to YouTube. Look, man, this guy right here, he's spreading disinformation and that information and whatever information, COVID violations and yada yada. Like, I don't know, man. Like, y'all got it good. Y'all got it real good. But keep up the good work, keep up the good work. I am sure that the more you do this, the more you encourage me to step my game up, to pay more attention to those keywords and components that you don't have anything to use. Tonight is going to be one of those nights, so you might want to pay attention. So we're going to walk through tonight rather slow, very slow. But tonight is another special night. We want to shout out Bishop Joseph Adderley for coming through on Wednesdays. On Wednesday, he put it out there. So I want to say thank you for sharing and speaking his truth. You know what I mean? And going forward, I have a special guest coming forward next week. I always say a special guest, but this is definitely a special guest, along with some other special guests we got coming on and in the lineup for the next couple of weeks. It's exciting times. So the more y'all go ahead and tag and block and report, the bar keeps raising and it keeps raising. So I thank you for motivating me. I give thanks. Having said that, Shabbat Shalom to my brothers and sisters, Hebrew Israelite community. Assalamu alaikum. Ashe Hotep to the conscious crew. Namaste, my Easterners. And without question, Rastafari to the brethren and sister. And for everybody else, it's pure love and pure light. That was up. So there's a lot of news going on, yes, including Starcom. And no, I'm not speaking on it, period. We did say when we first started this platform that Politically Incorrect will replace Brass Stacks going forward. So the next thing we're going to look to do now is get a daytime program going on around that time in the morning, same slot. And if we don't get on a radio station, which we are working on to get Politically Incorrect on a radio station, believe it or not, there's conversations being had, believe it or not. Though, it's exciting times, family. Perhaps I let the cat out the bag with that one, but there's talks being had. And so step aside now. And a man wants to take over. Shots fired. But anyhow, that's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, though, tonight we have a wait a minute. I'm in the dark. I'm missing something here. Hang on a second. I'm not seeing that other screen. Let me get that sorted out. Hold on real quick. Let me put some eyes in the sky, man. Gotta put some eyes in the sky. Put that on mute first, otherwise I'll be going off all night. All right. Eyes in the sky, eyes in the sky. Here we go. Yeah. So if y'all can hear me clearly, give me a little mic check. Let me know what's up. and let's get right into it, man. I see my usual family here as always. Usual family, the usual suspects. The Alex, come on, man. You got to give him guy a better pronoun than that. you know, you get, give him a pronoun, man. Yeah, man. Look, I love my people here. Barbados, Barbadians. If you call yourself a Bajan, it's all good. Whether you was born here, come here, Lucia, Vinci, wherever you come from. Shout out to the Ghanaians as well who here, the nurses that came in. Met a few of them. I gonna say this, man. When I saw that whole thing happening, it really reminded me, like I said, of well, now they use a plane to bring Africans to the Caribbean to work. Back then, they use a ship to bring Africans to the Caribbean to work. So for me, it was like the more things change, like the brother said, the more they stay the same, man. That's to me, that was like, wow, man. Like when I saw them coming off, 200 of them coming off that aircraft, I was thinking to myself, yo, this is how this is exactly how it was. It might have been a bit more hostile environment, but family, it's the same thing. What's happening now is exactly what happened then. They didn't come and find some place with bush and a bunch of wild boars running around. There were people here trading and stuff, man. And I love my people, man. And we're gonna get through this together, family. We have the power, and it's that kind of time. So the question is, can the government be indicted for crimes, especially crimes against its own people? Let me deal with this. The cooperation known as Barbados has broken a lot of the treaties they set up, a lot of the rules and regulations they set up. Better yet, a lot of the policies they set up. That's why they have the policia, the police, the policy enforcers. They don't have law enforcers. They have policy enforcers. It's written right on the side of the car. They have violated their own policies, especially the policies they put in place to govern the space they occupy. I'm using my words very carefully, so listen, extra careful. Let me go ahead and drop a tune for the youths first of all, man. Just for the youths first of all, man. I got to throw my brother back up here again. Where'd he go? There's a movie I want to share with you all as well tonight. I'm gonna put the link up. You can go and watch it. It's called Animal Farm. I don't know if y'all ever seen it before. Let me just put the link up in the early for those watching. Tonight, we're going to touch on a few things. Yes, we're going to touch on the Ministry of Education scenario, but we're going to do a little backtrack and touch on the COVID scenario. Some things happened this week that you absolutely must tell a friend about and start paying attention and realize that, you know what, something kind of happened here. A few things happened here. Let's take a close look at it, man. Let me go ahead and share this real quick. It's called Animal Farm. Y'all might remember that from school, but take another look at it now that you're more of an adult and perhaps with a different state of mind. Yeah, with a different state of mind. I think that's what's up. Anyhow, let me go start this piece here, family. Politically incorrect. Go tell a friend, We live and we in the building, man. That's what's up. That's what's up. For the youths, man. All the violence, all the aggression. Family, we got to get it together, family. Mothers, fathers, see this plane buying guns for your kids. Christmas coming up. In fact, hold on. Let me pause this for a second. Let me go back here a couple seconds, man. I need to address this real quick. Out the door. We ain't even playing. Family, let me say this, family. Let me say this out of love, family. When I was young, I remember my neighborhood. We used to always play. It's ironic. We used to always play cops and robbers. And I never wanted to be the cop. I never wanted to be the police. Like I never wanted to be the police. There's a few other guys that wanted to be police, and I guess you could kind of see why when I look back in retrospect. Nevertheless, I remember that I used to watch this movie called Tour of Duty. It used to come on at night. It was about the Vietnamese War, the American perspective, and they used to show this. I even remember the tune. Tour of Duty. I used to watch this all the time. I never missed Tour of Duty. To the point where one Christmas came, I was down Swan Street. We went in this store. Must have been an Indian store. And they had guns for sale, and they had an M16. Of course, I recognize the M16 because I remember the Grenada invasion, and the soldiers was coming back and forth. I had seen them directly. I had seen Tour of Duty. Yeah, it was called Tour of Duty. Yeah, Tour of Duty. So perhaps I became a little fascinated with these guns. My point I want to make though is that, you know, we have our children, we have young ones, and we buy them these toy guns, family. And the reality is they pretend they play shoot each other. They pretend to shoot each other. And you know, playing is a learning mechanism. That's why there's certain schools around the world that use playtime as a means to teach. They use sports and games as a means to teach. So when you're buying guns for your children and you teach and they play shooting each other, they get used to the idea of shooting each other is okay. And I just want to say, family, you know, the holidays coming up, what they call Christmas, and you go and buy toys and stuff. You know, try to refrain from buying guns to your children. I'm not saying, you know, you can't take your child to the gun range and teach them how to manage and use a gun if you need to, and the rules and law of engagement. But don't be buying no toy guns and have them shoot each other, or buying your girl children white dollies and that kind of stuff. These are all subconscious little subliminal things they use to, you know, to distract our youth. Right now, there was another incident at a school this week, the Polytechnic, and some other stuff in schools, especially the fight in Spice Town yesterday that almost didn't happen. Yeah, man, you got different schools coming together to have a brawl in different locations. Family, let's be mindful in how we contribute towards this decline. Let's be mindful, family. To the youths, man, just, you know, hold firm. Find someone you can talk to. You have issues. You know what I mean? Reach out, man. Ghetto youths, it's time to rise up, family. Next level. Tell a friend to tell a friend, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Tonight is one of those nights, family. We're going up top. We're going up top, family.
Them never know.
Rastafari.
Boy, you know the thing hard like dog. Ghetto youths no straight then. Go when me check a stock, I listen all the reasoning and see a clock, I raise them.
Teach them, family. Teach them, family.
I go sight up on the news so much. Echo long catch they in a Salem.
Every day in the news, almost like a shooting now, man.
Step with the egg.
Every time you look around, you're hearing about the shooting, family.
In a pen.
Meanwhile, the politicians committing the most crime.
I beg you save them.
Save the youths, Father.
The land where me love.
Land where me born. Land where my ancestors plant corn.
Chop cane feel from dust
Still dawn.
and Marcus Garvey a shine like storm.
Yes.
Then a soft bus when them ring the alarm.
Tell a friend to tell a friend, family.
The sheriff so him can't see man.
Go tell a friend to tell a friend.
No politician take on no fake clown. I could have 6'6" in a
Don't let the politician play you for clown, family.
then.
Don't let the politician play you for clown.
I stop and listen all the reasoning. Me see a clock I raise them. And then me sight up on the news how much echo long catch they in a Salem.
Yes.
Watch them a step with the AK-47 bright in the Mayfair.
Pay attention, family. Pay attention, family.
Selassie, I beg you save.
We are our brothers and sisters keepers.
United we stand up.
Yes.
Like when Nanny and Sam Sharp them.
Shout out to Peter Hunt,
Balance everything like Martin.
Melvin, the whole family.
Take my brother life, the dollar. When me
Sacred sisters.
drop a sentence, funny white collar.
Tree of knowledge.
Be a killer, say I rather be
All
a
the blocks across the island, man.
the money for me daddy.
All my personal people.
So if me a love for one
Shout out to Black Lion Security.
straight then.
North, south, east, and west.
But when me check a stock, I listen all the
Give thanks to all the assistants, man.
raise them. And then me sight up on the news
Divine order run things, family.
in a Salem.
Divine order.
Watch them a step with the AK-47 bright in a Mayfair.
Yes, we free.
Selassie, I beg you say.
We are our mother's son.
innocent. Load the gang war. From school days, yeah, your brother did a bar. Now a little flare up, one a mar up and tar. Big jet a send drive by in a car. Say you a go catch me and me family a bar. One away a good a day a funeral or bar.
Nah.
Hear me no star. Hear me no star.
Brothers for life.
Me a fire radar. And nobody straight there.
Brother for life.
But when me check a stock and listen all the
Time to turn this thing against them, family.
them.
Time to reverse the curse.
And then me sight up on the news.
Time to reverse the curse.
Got stay in a Salem.
We paid our dues, family.
Must step with the AK-47.
Unity, strength. That we dealing with, man.
So last year I beg you save them.
Yes.
I beg you save them.
Shout out to the ones, the twos, the threes, the fours, the fives, the six, the sevens, the eights. And without question, the nines, man. All relevant family. One order families that we dealing with. Shout out to all the ghetto youths, man. The families that know what time it really is. Give thanks and praise, man. Politically incorrect. Look, this was an amazing, strong week. I can't even call it a week. I had a strong 7 days. I can't even say I have a week 7 days. I had a strong 7 days, man. It wasn't weak at all. And I give thanks, man. Look how things change in London. Look how everything coming down one by one. They falling one by one, family. I realize we don't even have to push them. You know what I mean? Just step out the way. Make sure we focus on building what we have to build. You know, like I said, some things happened this week, man, that needs highlighting. So I'm gonna just jump right into this one time. That link I put up, Animal Farm, go watch that again, you know, and check that out. Well, since we're dealing with schools, I guess I should start at the beginning, I suppose, kinda, sorta. Well, long story short, the people that's supposed to be doing the investigation into this matter right now is the ones that claim that the regulators, you know, for this Privacy Act, they have they didn't get the president or whoever's in charge. They sent somebody else. And what he's saying is that he really can't comment on it right now because they're investigating themselves. They were brought to their attention about the violations. So they're going to review and find out if, you know, the regulatory department, if anything was wrong, anybody broke any rules or laws, whatever the case is, they're going to do a little investigation. But, you know, at this point, I realize, family, a lot of these organizations, integrity is the thing. There are a lot of people sleeping in different places within the system that are good people. And we can't throw the baby with the bath water, like I said before. I think we had to give people a chance here because there's a way in which to do things. And we don't want to gaslight, go out there marching and protesting and making noise. Yeah. Well, yeah, we could do that too. You know, if you feel that's going to be effective, go right ahead. Go right ahead. But you win wars with strategy and not emotions. Let's strategically plan or strategies in order to bring about the effective and most efficient outcome that will benefit the nation as a whole. It's okay to go and say, this body got to move and that body got to move. And by the way, I totally agree that things need to be looked in very closely and accountability need to be dished out in order to curb the vine of corruption that seems to be spreading all across this tree of life that we have. The vines tend to strangle the life out of anything it wraps itself around, and corruption is no doubt any different and will, without question, strangle the entire nation if we allow this to continue. So we got to look at things from a very different perspective. Not so much the what, but the why. You know, look into this thing deeper. So having said that, the lady, like I said, Lisa Graves, from the Commissioner of the Data Protection, they are now investigating it. So let's give them a couple of days and see what they come up with, because, I mean, the fact that we're having this conversation is clear there's been a violation, you know. So I don't expect them to jump out and give a conclusion, but they'll do some review and we'll go from there. But trust you me, we are also paying attention to them. And because they are more visible, then accountability is going to rest on them. Because to come and say that there's no violations, oh, I tell you, oh man, when the law is very clear and explicit, it's going to be very interesting. But anyhow, we'll see how that goes in a few days. Wait till next week. Okay, it can't take them like Wilfred and the JS situation 8 or 9 or 10 months. It can't take that. It definitely won't take that. We ain't making that kind of sport. Period. It'd be the first and last republic independence, I suppose, because Barbadians are not them kind of people. See, one of the things you keep hearing is Bajans passive, and that's propaganda. If you look through the corridors of time, you will see that Barbados has always had insurrections, what they call insurrections, but they're not insurrections. They're people fighting for what is rightfully theirs. They use these words and paint these images to make it seem like you're wrong. What are you doing? You're going against the grain. What are you doing? What do you mean, what am I doing? What are you doing? You think because you have been abusing people for a period of time and they have taken it, over and over and over, that they're going to continue to take it? Animal Farm, family, go watch Animal Farm. Go take a look at that film. I put the link earlier in the comments. You go check it out. And but since we're on the topic of schools, I want to jump into really the direction I want to go in tonight, which was this one. Let me go and share this really quick. Oh shucks, I didn't even get to put this up on my own page. I forgot that. Someone go share this on my personal page. You always tag me in it. Feel free. So Kenneth George, wonder how he's doing. I didn't see him in a minute, but here he is again telling us that students could soon not have to wear face coverings in school. Well, I wonder why. Well, here's why. We have an emergency operation committee and we have an epidemiologist, and what we do is that we evaluate information that the committee and recommendations are made. We have relaxed a number of the measures we had in place, and we are also looking to further adjustments to be announced shortly. What he's basically saying is that they have looked into the thing with school children. They have discovered that school children were really never really at risk. I think the word he said is that the adjustments to the COVID-19 protocols were on the way and deemed the school environment as safe, in parentheses. Well, we've been saying this for a while. Nevertheless, the chief medical officer is now saying that he's looking to, let our school children go to school and not have to be muzzled, so to speak. Well, I wonder why this is coming out now. Well, if you didn't know why, let me give you an idea as to why this is happening. Because, like I said, some things happened this week that we need, with absolute diligence, pay attention to. Let me go and share this. Some of y'all may have seen this. This is probably a longer version of it. Maybe I'll cut this up and I'll cut this up and put the link. Y'all can watch the whole thing when you get time. Let me go ahead and share this really quick. Copy this.
Let's talk about what happened with Pfizer. So a few days ago, European leaders, for a few days, for a long time now, European leaders have been asking tough questions of the biopharmaceutical complex.
Listen to this carefully, family.
Pharmaceutical CEOs, asking them to come before European Parliament to answer some tough questions because we're not getting these answers from the United States. They're not doing this in Congress. So they brought AstraZeneca, they brought Johnson & Johnson, they brought Moderna. Noticeably absent, of course, was the CEO of Pfizer, because I guess Albert Bourla knew something. There he is, Albert Bourla. Knew stuff was about to hit the fan. Some crap was about to hit the fan. So decided, I'm going to send somebody. I'm going to send my lackey. I'm going to send somebody else to go and do this.
Now, a little context here is that the European Union was sort of lauded as the best region in the world for rolling out vaccine passports. There were QR codes right away. There were vaccine scanner apps, and most countries sort of went right along with, okay, you can't get on an airplane, you can't come into Disneyland, Paris, you can't we even went on this little Christmas light walk, which was outdoors with our kids. And they had people outdoors scanning QR codes with.
You can imagine that. You went for a walk with your family and there are people outside asking you to scan to see if you had a jab or not. You can imagine that? Crazy. That was just about a year ago. And here we are now, a year later, and look what is happening. Pay attention to this, family.
With either a recent test or your recent negative COVID test or a vaccine certificate, to walk around and see Christmas lights outdoors. And we were stopped with our children only and with masks every I want to say mile or so on this. So the European Union launched these vaccine certificates with a vengeance, and there was a lot of money and effort and compliance, which is why it's important to figure out, why do we do that? Was there really a reason to do that? Because it really did harm a lot of people's businesses and inconvenience a lot of people and cost people their jobs. So
yeah, and like going to restaurants, like one of our favorite restaurants, like we all went and we're like, we don't have any of these certificates. Like, what do we need to do? We want to eat here. And they're like, can you take a test right now and show that you're negative? And we're like, okay, so 20 minutes of tests later.
And that's sanitary. I'm going to shove something in my nose at the table.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see where this is going, family. So this whole thing happened where they kind of doing a little backspin on what happened in the European Union. So what they decided to do was, you know what? Let's bring some of these same folks in, some of the same folks that was pushing all these rules in the government and whatnot, because of the pharmaceutical companies and the science, especially the science. And guess what happened, family? Check this out. They actually called for a hearing. Now, I wonder when Barbados is going to call for a hearing. Transparency, my foot. When will Barbados call for a hearing? Let's bring Mr. Kenneth. Let's bring Corey. Where in the world is Corey Ford? Let's bring Mr. Bostic, because he would have been active at the time. He can bear witness to what he did and did not know. And let's bring the prime servant and have a conversation. Better yet, bring Dr. Cave as well, because he was adamant about a lot of stuff back then. And let's have a hearing. Check this out, family. That's why you know Barbados is not a real place.
You guys play it again. So let's play that again. Let's play that clip again if you can, Philip.
Was the Pfizer COVID vaccine tested on stopping the transmission of the virus before it entered the market? If not, please say it clearly. If yes, are you willing to share the data with this committee? And I really want a straight answer, yes or no, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Regarding the question around, did we know about stopping immunisation before it's entered the market? No. We had to really move at the speed of science to really understand what is taking place in the market. And from that point of view, we had to do everything at risk.
What she said? They had to do everything. Let me hear that.
From that point of view, we had to do everything at risk.
Okay. Now, wait a minute. Before y'all go typing and reporting me, this is off a video that's already on YouTube for a couple of days and it hasn't been taken down. So, go figure. Now, imagine this. This is the company that made this stuff coming out now and saying, well, we didn't really... Nah, we ain't had the information. We couldn't even give you information. We didn't even know. Admitting that something is wrong here. Now, wait a minute. So if there was no science, how did our government, how did Kenneth, Corey, all these individuals that were always on your TV, your television, your phone, your GIS, little images, little memes, all kind of stuff, where were they getting the information that they were telling you from? Because they kept telling us all kind of stuff. They're changing the curfews, had us wearing all this stuff all over this kind of, you couldn't go here if you didn't have that. You couldn't go here. You couldn't do this. You couldn't do that. A lot of the do's and don'ts and the schedules got people in the sun for hours just trying to buy a simple bit of food. People lost their jobs. People lost their business, their means of income, still struggling. Still trying to recover, which in some cases is not even possible. My question is, I see Alex put inquest. Where did our administrators Where did the administrators of this place, the governing body of this place, get the information from that they kept feeding to the public? Just a question. Just a question. Somebody needs to answer these questions, because obviously something has happened. And because nobody wants to step up and say something, then what? I mean, what's really next, though? I mean, what is really, really, really next? All right. All right. Let me see if I can pull this other piece over here. Hold on. Let me pull another piece over here, man. Let me pull another piece over here. This guy goes into explaining certain things. Let me pull this up too. I ain't even playing. I'm playing this part here as well. I'm playing two more parts. I'm playing two more clips. Two more clips. There you go.
During this hearing, watch.
It really was a special moment. For the first time, Pfizer admitted that the vaccine was not tested on stopping the transmission of the virus when it entered the market. And this...
Hold up. Pfizer admitted it wasn't tested on stopping the virus. Why would they admit that now, family, after the fact? Because they made their money. They made their money. They accomplished what they set out to do. So, of course, they can now tell you, you know what, we never really... it doesn't stop it. We didn't know. We didn't have a clue. How could they have had a clue? It had never been done before, was the point. So my question is, forget whether it was real or not, or whatever. My question is, where was the government getting the information they kept telling you? Where were they getting that information that disrupted your whole livelihood, your way of living, your peace, your sanity, the stress they caused, the anxiety, the abuse that took place from being quarantined and closed up in closed quarters with people, perhaps in some cases, husbands and wife, children, who weren't always forced to be in a small space? Where did they get the information from? Mr. Bostic, Mr. Corey, Google Boss. I call him Google Boss because I know. Yeah, Mr. George, with all due respect, can y'all kindly please advise us as to where y'all got this information from? The science y'all talked about. Can you all show us copies of the science y'all were talking about?
Not tested on stopping the transmission of the virus when it entered the market. And this has massive implications. Governments pushed millions of people worldwide to get vaccinated by telling them, telling you to do it for your grandmother. And they tricked perfectly healthy young people into taking this jab using false arguments. And they used big words such as antisocial to sow an immense hatred against people who refuse to comply with the government's wishes.
Yes.
That's the truth. That is the gospel truth. Because it was the vax versus the unvax. Y'all remember that? They try to put one against the other, try to make it look like it's all your fault. It's your fault. I mean, it's your fault. You ain't getting that jab, so therefore it's your fault. Imagine that. Can you imagine that? Wow. And all of a sudden now they out telling you that, well, actually, we kind of didn't really mean that. It was kind of like a bit of a hoax. So this guy right here is part of the commission that sits with the European Union. And he is out on a quest. His thing is, I've been asking questions for a while and can't get the answers. So what I'm going to do is just go right ahead here now. And while I having this commission done and this hearing, I'm just going to go ahead and answer questions I've been wanting to ask all this time. And listen again just to what he has to say before I move on. Let's listen to this part right here, family.
Just to look at those governments, you'll remember that Monsieur Macron in France said he wanted to emmerder the unvaccinated, which is a rather rude word that approximates to the English. He wanted to really piss them off. If you look at Canada, for example, if you were unvaccinated, you were forbidden from getting on an aeroplane or a train. In some German states, you were forbidden from going to the supermarket to buy food to keep yourself alive. And it appears that this lady from Pfizer is now saying at the time they introduced this, they never had any evidence that it would stop transmission of the virus. So where did all these governments get the idea to tell us you can't go anywhere if you're unvaccinated?
Well, yeah, that is exactly what I was looking for, because I'm searching for this answer for 2 years now, and because it has such an impact on people's life, I really wanted to know. And well, yeah, where is this coming from? It seems to be disinformation from our government. So, well, this is really something that the people who are responsible for this, in my opinion, if the impact was huge on people's lives, I think these people should be held responsible.
Yeah, I like when he says that, though. These people should be held responsible. Family, I mean, it is evident. There's no evidence supporting what they were telling us. So the big question is, did the government lie to us? Did the government lie to us is the question. Give me your thoughts in the comments below real quick, while I cue this other video up. Did the government lie? Do you feel the government lied to the people? All of a sudden, my Wi-Fi is cutting in and cutting out. Yeah, we know. And don't tell me it's the Chinese, man. Don't tell me it's the Chinese, man. Of course they did. Yes, they lied. Folks are actually agreeing, man. Yes, they lied, huh? Shout out to Guyana, by the way. All my people in Guyana. Shout out to the Guyanese family. Oh gosh, man. Oh gosh, bye. Demerara for life. Yeah. Down by the river. The government is a stranger to the truth. Wow. Someone told me recently, if you want to hear a politician lie, just give him a mic. I thought that was crazy. I thought that was crazy, man. But on a serious note, family, even if this is the case, my question now is, can the government be indicted? How do we go forward with this? Because someone told me that we can't do nothing. Y'all vote them in. You got to wait till next election in order to do so. And I'm thinking, that doesn't make any sense to me. That doesn't make any sense. You're telling me that if the government is a train and it's gone off track, there's nothing we, the pastors, could do but sit, brace ourselves, and wait for the impact? No. We're going to figure something out. If there's not an emergency brake on this thing, we're going to look to separate the carts or something. We can't, but just to sit here and do nothing, who does that? Not Barbadians. Not Barbadians. Definitely not Barbadians. That's not what's happening. So we need to have that think tank going, man. Yes, they are still lying. Oh, man, the brother said they're still lying. I think right now they're lying down, man. They're getting comfortable. They're leaving out truth. No science to follow. Real thing. We have a government that lies, and lie. Yeah, well, you know what, family? I like somebody here said it. Yeah, Ricardo said it right. Accountability. That's what's up. That's all we are saying, family. That's all we are saying, accountability. Show us the science. Don't tell us that, okay, we can lift this now, you can lift this now, you can lift this now. No, we're not that. This isn't the time where you would tell the people that and they're just taking a run with it. This generation and the other generations to follow, we want to see the science. We want to see. So the same way you post those questions in the newspaper, the same way the nation got a hold of the document, and not a copy, but a scan clearly looked like a copy. We want the information. Post the science in the newspaper where you got your science from to make these decisions. Because if you can't show where you made these decisions, then y'all lied and you committed a crime. And trust me, this is not a worry about the judicial system whether or not it going to serve justice. The people are paying attention. So even the magistrate or any Supreme Court judge, you're not above the law. You're not above the law. So to play that game, trust when I tell you, family, this is a different day. This is not the day of Pisces. You two fish. This is water season, family. This is water time. Water is knowledge. It's time to pour out the knowledge, family. You cannot hide. There's no way to hide at this point. You could run to the rocks. The rocks won't even shelter you. They won't. It's that time, family. I post the link for this particular here, this podcast, and shout out to Redacted, by the way, for sure. I'm going to go ahead and put that in the links there as well in the comment. You can go watch the whole thing. Very informative. But I want to put up another one real quick regarding some similar stuff. My thing right now, family, is we got to recognize that this thing is all relative. You know, the mass, the whole injection. And what's the latest thing now? What's the latest thing? Hold on. Let me show you what the latest thing is. This particular one right here, which is a serious indictment coming. Yeah, remember this? Talked about this for a little while now, man. They finally revealed the cost of this Trident ID. Finally, we get a cost. How much it gonna cost us? Whoo! I'm gonna tell you how much it's gonna cost us. Can somebody type $10 million in the comments for me, please? Just type $10 million in the comments, man. Just type. Go ahead and type that. Type 10 million. Let's go ahead and type that. 10 million. Oh, 10.4. Oh, shucks. I missed a couple 100,000. 10.4 million with an M, which is funny because it cost them for the first time when the DLP bought those same cards. And can I tell you something though, family? And I hate to be spoiler alert here, man. Like I really hate to do this. If you go on Amazon, and this sounds ridiculous, the same card machine they talking about, the same cards with the chip they talking about, you can purchase this stuff online at Amazon. I'm just saying, I hate to really say it like this, but I don't know if they're dealing with the company directly. My question is this: can we start to review this stuff a little bit more critically and really come to some realization as to how we gonna get this thing done? Because I just saying, the machine on Amazon, the cards on Amazon. I mean, you could buy it from Amazon. I'm sure it don't cost no 10 mil. I'm just saying. I mean, I'm sure the logistics are going and whatnot, but 10 mil, it seem a bit excessive, man. It seemed a bit excessive, family. Just a tad bit. But I ain't joking. Go Google it on Amazon. Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? You think I'm playing? You go Google ID cards with a chip, the RFID, chip, the RFID chip in it, and a blank one, and you can look at the printer. Go look at the printer. Get somebody do the what do you call it? The graphics for you. Print it front and back. You can even get the ones with the strip on it, magnetic strip on it. I mean, it's all right there. You can just Google this stuff, man. But I ain't gonna really say too much about this. This stuff is all relative. All relative. My thing though, family, is do we understand the significance of this? Because right now they're saying that only roughly about 6,000 people out of the 100, sorry, I think they said 90,000 people or something around those lines have registered, or over 100,000 people have registered for their card, but only about 6,000 cards have been given out. I don't know, man. My thing is this 6,000 cards some of what was left back from the previous order? Because they ordered 500,000 cards and they got it for like 4 mil. I ain't really sure how much cards they're ordering now, but man, I don't know. Minister gonna have to make that clear, you know. Who don't hear will feel. How can government spend 10 mil in ID cards and don't have 4 working ambulance in service? Look, John, I am so glad you brought that up, right? Let me show you something, right? I've been doing a lot of traveling recently in and out of the city. and out of a few government agencies. And I'm noticing a trend again, like I noticed it in the financial organizations. I'm noticing that they're like operating on a skeleton crew, a skeleton staff. It's like the place seems so empty. Some are working from home, some come in. I'm not sure why. A lot of places you go right now, you find that the staff is few people. It's like, how come? Or just me noticing this? Don't nobody else notice that staff seem to be less and less efficiency right now? I mean, Ms. Bradshaw talked about public sector workers not doing their job efficiently, and the act's going about to drop. And now you look at it, and it's like, you know, if you operate an office with half your staff, production going to have to decrease. Productivity going to have to be, reduced because it's less people, less hands on deck. Is this a deliberate ploy to frustrate people? I mean, ambulance service is the same thing. Is it deliberately done? And if so, by design, what is the desired outcome? Family, listen, man. We got to start looking at governance. Elections going to come up relatively soon. I mean, you can almost sense that in the air at some point, whether through the means of voting. A lot of people said, I didn't vote last. Well, the numbers indicated a lot of people didn't vote last time. Family, look, man, I ain't going to tell you all this right here. They say my enemy's enemy is my friend. If we do nothing, you can't say nothing. You got to do something, family. We got to draw the line and make it very clear where we stand as a nation. We have nothing to do with them. Let them do their thing. All those on board that vessel, let them set sail and go with their maritime and blue economy, whatever they're dealing with. We on the land. We're dealing with the island of I guess we could call it Barbados at this point, but we're dealing with the island of the indigenous beings and those who have bought this land and soil with the blood of the ancestors that came before. This is already paid for. It's not for sale, whether the sea or the coast. Y'all could do all that all you like. I mean, you got to admire throughout history. There are people who stood up and fought for what was theirs. You can't push the people all the time. It's inevitable. They are going to push back at some point. The problem with the island, the size of Barbados, is that it's going to be a lot of spillover, a lot of spillage, because everybody know where everybody is. It's small. Everybody know. And so we're trying to avoid having that desired outcome, put one against the other. Nah, it's one Barbados, man. One Barbados. All that trying to disrespect middle class, take from middle class, steal their pension, promise them this, bonds, that, this, the third, got them taking all these different jobs and stuff, and then do what? Lead them out to dry? The Christians in Barbados, the Christians are the same ones. See them Christians, man? Let me say this here, family. The Christians, right, is who caused Rome to feel it the most, because it was Rome that decided to persecute the Christians. And the gentleman said to me last night, you know that Rome didn't fall. Well, Rome fell, bro. Rome fell, full stop. The ideology of Rome existed still in the minds of people. Just that you have Africans who are Africans and don't think they're for some reason some colonial people because they joined some Boule lodge or whatever else. Nah, homie. It's a mind thing. But by the renewing of the mind, the people will rise again. You see, Rome only now lives in the mind through fear. It's a subconscious system. But we, the living beings, have the ability and the power to change that. That one there, boy. I can hit a man for 6. Yeah, though. But it was the Christians, the persecution of the Christians is what led to that demise. And guess what Rome doing again? Persecuting the Christians. Because a lot of these people follow this system blindly and faithfully, thinking it's the right thing to do. But when they wake up like Ezekiel Bones and recognize that they have been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and abused, I ain't gonna tell you, them same public workers, right, that know everything, that see and know, they gonna be like, look, man, Emmanuel, check your inbox. Got you. Got you. Got to, family. We got to make a difference, family, and we got to make it now. It's that time. Bottom line, it's that time. And we ain't playing, man. Come out of her. Yep. Get your house in order. Ricardo, what going on, big bro? I ain't see you in a minute, fam. Wait, John, you know a whole lot, man. The roads, the healthcare system. Man, we could go on and on with the things that are shortcoming in Barbados. At this point, family, I think we need to focus a lot more on, she said gas, brakes and gas. We need to kind of circle this roundabout a couple of times and take stock of what direction we're really going in, because the reality is, let me pull over and check the map. Just pull over the side of the road there, shoulder real quick. Let me check the map, because from my perspective, right, as a passenger on this vessel, I look down the road, I tell myself, wait, because I'm kind of tall. People tell me that I look short because I sit here at this desk and the camera is mounted high, so I look. But when they see me in person, say, "Oh man, you're a giant," and I smile, because if I am a giant, it means I could see further than the guy who's short, unless he's on my shoulder. My point is that my thing is, this don't look like the way we're supposed to be going, though. Let me at least stop, check the bearings to ensure that we go in the right direction. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Because if we ain't in the right direction, you go downtown, you work all day, you're tired, then you left work and you get a phone call, you got a problem home or some other issue, you got a headache, you need the lunch because you only had bus fare this week because it's that sort of time, and you stagger in the bus terminal in the crowd, and you there fussing in the crowd and between the little doors because you're tired, and you hear the announcer call a bus, and you get up and you go on the bus. You on the bus pull out, then you realize somewhere when the bus make a right instead of a left, and you tell yourself, "Wait, part this bus going?" And you realize that you on the wrong bus. When you realize that you on the wrong bus, what you just do? When you on the bus and you realize it's the wrong bus you got on, not deliberately, but not paying attention, like I said, different things on the mind, anxiety, fatigue, a little. What do you do? When you get on the bus and it's the wrong bus, what do? You ring the bell. You get off at the nearest stop, unless taking this bus brings you closer where you're looking to go, in which case you still plan to get off and finish and walk the distance. But the reality is, you don't stay on the same bus in the wrong direction. You make alternate plans to get off and get where you need to go. But guess what? You're right. Get off or get carried away. I like it, sis. I like it. Right now, the people being carried away, and what they're trying to do now is carry the children away. But nah, we ain't going in for that. I've been told, I've not confirmed it as yet, but I was told that the Minister of Education not even in Barbados anymore. She done took it, wherever they sent her, and the other sister might be on leave, temporary. I'm not sure. I've not confirmed it. But my thing is, regardless of whether they on or off, man, this is not going away. This is not going away, man. This right here is the Achilles heel of the Barbados Labour Party. Anyhow, two things I want to say real quick before I go. I'm gonna play these in conjunction. This is the first one. Let me say the second one. Is this it? No, I can't find it. Wait a minute. Is this the one? Yeah. This is it. I'm gonna share these two links with you.
Oil producing country.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back here real quick. I'm gonna share these two links with you really quick. You got to pay attention to this. First thing first, the lady from the what's her name from the IMF came out again recently and said that predictions for further economic slowdowns. Now let me tell you something. When the bankers start telling you to pay attention, family, pay attention. Bottom line. There you go. When the bankers start telling you to pay attention, pay attention. Because right now, family, this is what's up. Now they're predicting, they said they have never seen this kind of inflation in decades. Now, wait a minute. The last recession they had was in 2008, 29, 2010, and then kind of crippled it, kind of crept from then till now. When the IMF could tell you that they have not seen this kind of inflation and the statistics based on recession in decades, they're telling you something, family. When the bankers giving you a warning, they're telling you what their plan is because they control the money. I'm going to put a link up right now. Let me go to this one real quick. I ain't even playing around. Y'all got to watch this, man. You got to watch this. You got to watch this. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Let me get the link here real quick. Where did it go? Okay, here it is. Let me go and share this real quick. You got to go and watch this. Let me put the link up real quick one time. Check the comments for the link for this particular channel. You got to go and watch this. This is, and again, family, you see, one thing about the devil, right? You can't say you didn't know. You can't say they didn't tell you. Look how Pfizer come out and admit now. You see, one thing about the devil, you know, you can't say that he didn't tell you. Thou shalt not surely die, right?
Oil-producing countries, including Saudi Arabia and Russia, have agreed to cut oil production by 2 million barrels a day.
The objective behind the cuts is clear. OPEC Plus wants the prices to rise. And there is one superpower that is going to feel the pinch more than the rest.
President Biden says there will be consequences for Saudi Arabia.
Chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee vows to block all future weapons sales to Saudi Arabia.
Let me put this in perspective really quick for you. So OPEC, big oil conglomerate, controls oil, all the oil, control everything. That's the big boys. So America buys oil from over there in the Emirates, the Saudi people, tablecloth, you know, whole 9 yards. Pretty cool. But America exchanged weapons in most cases. All right. Using the petrodollar. Okay. So now Russia, who America had put sanction on, made a deal with the Saudis. And the Saudis like, listen, yeah, I roll in with you. I roll in with you. So now America is like, well, wait a minute. Whoa, what are you doing? Now we're going to produce less oil. We're going to drop the oil. We're going to drop our production by about 200 barrels a day. And that might not, well, that don't sound like nothing. Yeah. But you multiply it by a global scale. Check this out, family.
The White House says a decision by OPEC Plus to cut oil production is a clear sign the group is aligning with Russia.
Hi everybody. On 5th of October 2022, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies, including Russia, agreed to cut their production of oil by 2 million barrels a day. This is so much oil that it accounts for 2% of the entire world's oil supply. And this can have some severe consequences on economies all across the world, including the US, UK and India. Now, considering the fact that both US and UK are already at the brink of a recession, this oil spike could escalate the situation to another disaster. Which is why, in response, the United States is passing something called the NOPEC bill, and the UK government is deploying something called the price cap strategy. So in short, Russia, the Middle East and the West are now engaged in an oil war that could decide the fate of the world economy in 2023. So the question is, what exactly is OPEC and why are they cutting down oil production? What is this NOPEC bill all about? What is UK's price cap strategy? And most importantly, how will this oil war affect India and the world in the next 1 year? This video is brought to you by Golden Pie, but more on this.
All right. Go check this brother out, man. I mean, the brother dropped it, outlined it clear as day. You got to go and watch it. You got to go and pay attention because they're planning to crash the market. I mean, we already know this, but here now you're going to see how they're going to do it because 2 million barrels. 2 million barrels, not 200. 2 million. Different conversation. My point, though, family, when they control that and it gets scarce, the prices obviously go up. When the prices start to go up again, everything else goes back up. When everything else goes back up, it affects everything and everyone. So they're planning this thing. That's why the IMF is saying, we got some tough times ahead coming again. Another recession. Because this time, 2023 family is a whole different ball game. So like I was saying, we got to get ourselves in order. The brother said it earlier. Get your house in order, family. We don't have time to be playing around. A lot of these little things are happening. We got to nip these things in the bud so that we can take control of our island and take control of our future. Because we can't leave our security in the hands of those who repeatedly, consistently, and almost with impunity continue to disrespect, disregard, and marginalize us as a whole. Today for me, tomorrow for you, that's all. Today for me, tomorrow for you. That's all. These officers who run down here with these policy enforcers with these hats, these little guns, and these little pants with red stripes, when they approach you and talk to you, you ever see how they, for the most part, I'm not even saying all, I'm not saying all, but some of them, right, when they approach you and talk to you, it's always with a degree of hostility, automatically. Pure hostility. Okay, you understand your city job is dangerous and all this stuff. I get it. But that ain't got nothing to do with how you interact with people. It's always some sort of listen to what I have to tell you kind of thing. And it's like, this guy is like a comedian. I kid you not. Nevertheless, they used to passive people being subjected and subjugated, and so therefore tuck your head down and tuck in your tail and keep going by. That's not today's Barbados here. If y'all ain't paying attention, pay attention. Barbados up. They up. They up. Even the youths up. See what's going on. Family, get your house in order, man. That's just the bottom line. Get your house in order. So, that's my position right there, man. I ain't even, like I said, I got some stuff happening next week in preparation for that. I'm looking forward, eagerly looking forward for a number of reasons. When, like I said, man, there are people in the ranks that are not afraid. For the most part, people that could talk. Remember, I told you, people in the JS all that time could have been come on the program and drop the science and tell you stuff and put information up. Nah, I can't afford to lose my mortgage, man. I don't want to do that. And we understand. We get it. We get it. Totally get it. But guess what? There's some of us who are not afraid. And we're going to do what we got to do, just like they got to do what they got to do, man. Make it happen, family. This is the bottom line. I can eat roast breadfruit all day. I might go to other fruits according to the season. I love it. I love it. Some of them feel like they're in charge and don't know how to treat people. It's a fact. John, we inside Peep the Vibes family. I can't see the link from here, but I hope y'all could check that link out that John put in the chat, the comments, and see what that's about. See what that's about. But I said, man, love Barbados, love Barbadians, love the people, man. And we one family. That's the bottom line, man. And we're gonna rebuild this house. We're gonna build this, man. We're gonna rebuild this on our own, man. The government, like I said, don't throw the baby in the bath water. You got a bath water. You got a lot of good people working in different places within the framework of what we call the system that are just sleeping giants waiting. I know a few sleeping giants. Stand by. Stand down and stand by. That's the phrase, right? Yeah, stand down and stand by. Next week, we're going to put this thing in order. Anyhow, family, got some things I got to go and attend to. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a session for a minute. We got to find a tune to play. I didn't see Isis in a minute, though, family. Y'all see Isis, give her a shout out. Make sure she all right. I heard she on Facebook jail again. It's just crazy. Yo, man, they got Isis as a repeat offender. Yo, Facebook, yo, what are you going to say, man? What are you going to do? Make the cow jump over the moon. Crazy. Our systems are set to crash. Yeah, man, it gotta happen. It gotta happen. It gotta happen. ISIS is in jail for 7 days. Please. Oh man. That's all right, man. ISIS got other ways to get a message out. Anyhow, family. We had a good little evening. Let me say this though, family, on a serious note. Go check them 2 videos out. That link on that oil. Because whether we like it or not, these cats operating at a pace, they got their little thing in motion, they're in cahoots. We know this, but the reality is it's going to impact on us right here. So let me not play naive. The Caribbean is where it's at. You know, enlighten yourself, man. Like I tell family, start planning food, do what you got to do. You know, you're doing root crops, get those barrels, do root crops, you cut the barrel in half across. You're doing herbs and stuff, you cut it down the middle. You know, in those smaller trays, because you know herbs and lettuce and stuff don't need to be planted deeply. But you want to do some yams, some potatoes, whatever. Get a few barrels in your backyard. Maybe like put 2 feet of dirt in it, soil, mix it, a little compost so it's a bit lighter, and you could do stuff. I got like 2 or 3 ideas we're trying to work on. Like I said, we're trying to build this into a network totally. So you could just click in and there's a number of things you could choose to view on. We're working on that. Some things being worked on. And survival, how to survive in changing times, man. You know, little things, little tidbits help you out. Because that's what it's about, helping each other out. So let me build this thing together. One family. That's what we're dealing with. Those who have eyes to see, going to see. And those who have ears to hear, going to hear. Who want it, going to get it. Who don't want it, won't need it, you know. So it's all good. It's all good. Let me keep pushing forward. Having said that, let me drop my tune here real quick, because I'm going to tell you right now, family, it's time to win your liberation, man. Y'all already know the anthem. Y'all already know the anthem. I ain't going to tell you all. Let me pull this one up. Or should I play this other one? I ain't play this one, man. I gotta play it, man. I gotta play it, man. I got to play it, man. This goes back too far, man. It always invokes the same energy, man. Like, when I play this tune, I'll be thinking about old cell phone and 2 clothespin on top of the ironing board. Whenever I play this tune, that's what I think about, man. Where it started. I love how far we came, family. New beginnings, man. Just brand new beginnings, man. Let us not forget where we started, man. Let's forever remember. Too long, family, too long. Rise and shine. Rise and shine, family. That's right. Yo, let me say this too, family. Let me just chime in here real quick and say this, man. You see this food issue? All this growing food and layers and stuff they're talking about? Any y'all ever passed by that road that passed by layers that separate the quarry from the farm? Y'all see the amount of dust that is always out there? I wonder why they chose that spot to grow food with all that dust and cement. Kind of like down there with the flower, right? I ain't know. I just asking for a friend. Rise and shine, family. The morning sun that surrounds you. Morality time. Mankind must be born anew. Shout out to the whole Caribbean. The youths. Big up the youths. Love the youths, family. To brotherhood and unity. Much too long. Much too long, family. Rise and shine, rise and shine. Oh, so long. Rastafari. I wonder if they're going to microchip the gray monkeys. They say they want to chip all the animals. Yo, these people crazy here. I think so. They say this stuff with a straight face, man. But Rastafari says, I give thanks, man. Blessed all the queens and the kings for sure. Yo, they say this thing with a straight face, family. I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they do it, man. I'll be rolling. Anyhow, family. Tell a friend, man. Next week, we have a full house. Got a lot of stuff lined up. But y'all going to see it, man. Y'all going to see it. By Monday, I'll be able to call a name. And listen out for that. Don't miss Monday program. We're going to be calling names. And like I said, I have a really special guest. Everybody's special, really. You realize that because different backgrounds. Totally. I think this would probably be my most controversial one to date. Give thanks, family. Give thanks, man. Y'all, love y'all. Be good. Be blessed. Be upful. Be joyful. Don't use that word too often. That word blessed. I actually told someone that recently. Blessed is to be less, but be more. Read between the lines, man. Have a peaceful night, family. Rise and shine. Go check that movie out, family. Go check that movie out. I put it up earlier. Animal Farm. Go watch that. Go check them other 2 links I gave you, man. Go check them out, man. Go check them out, man. Go check them out, man. Anyhow, I soon come off. We're going to talk in a minute. Don't move. Anyhow, family. Yeah. Having said that, Haile Selassie I, Empress Reserve Menin. Yes, family. One perfect balance. One perfect balance. Monday night, special revelation. Special guests. It's just an honor, man. That's all I can say, man. Been down too long, family. Time to rise up. And by the way, like I told folks, as far as who they bring in here, these Charmans or whoever they're supposed to be, look, we ain't knocking nobody. You see, Almighty run things, family. If you have faith in who you say you believe in, trust the power of who you say you believe in to deliver you and all those that are around you, man. Whatever they're doing is their business, man. That's not yours. Focus on what you gotta do for you and your people, man, and what is necessary. Let the dead bury the dead. I out.